Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm gonna talk about flow trail versus tech trail. I'm calling this trail talk because I'm gonna ride some trails, just have fun, and while I'm doing this I'm gonna explain this thing to you. So I think I want to do a series out of it, so there will be multiple videos about it, not only about this topic but also about other stuff. And yeah, you're gonna see pop up those videos every here and then. So yeah, let's get into this series. Okay, so first I wanted to show you the Hundley Trail. This is a typical flow trail. You can see you don't need to brake a lot into the corners, and you have those little jumps, and it's not rough. That's the term we use to explain when a section is full of stones or roots or just very bumpy. And as you can see here, it is flat and the ground is smooth, and that's what we call a flow trail. This is the Hundley Trail, a blue one. Flow trails can also be more difficult. Oftentimes then they become jump trails, which is also a kind of a flow trail. And then if the flow trails get more difficult, you often see features like gaps and bigger jumps and higher speed. But here, as you can see, it's all easy, and yeah, that's a typical flow trail. And also flow trails can be very nice for beginners because you don't need to be worried about very rough features and sections which you can't ride. Yeah, so that's the flow trail. A downside to the flow trails is often you see braking bumps. This is when people brake and they're braking hard and all on the same spot. Then braking bumps start to appear, and they are like little holes, like little rips in the track, and they can be super nasty and tiring. So that's a downside for the flow trails. But many people really like flow trails exactly because it is mostly easy, chilled. You can do it with the family. And yeah, you just don't need to think so much because you just kind of go with the flow. Okay, and like this, we're already into the next category, which are tech trails. This is a perfect section where you can see what tech is. You'll often see people refer to it as gnarly, sketchy, rooty, rocky, and difficult, because tech trails are often more difficult than flow trails. This is not always the case. There are also easier tech trails, but on this one you can see it is pretty difficult. And yeah, that's what makes a tech trail. Important is that you can still find flow on tech trails, and it's just more difficult to get it, and it is not given to you for free. You need to find it. Like here, you can see I'm finding flow. It is getting smooth. But tech can also often be on hiker trails, like in this case. And yeah, many people are quite scared of tech trails because of their difficulty, and sometimes you just stand on top of a section and you think, how is this possible? But tech trails can also be very interesting because you need to find your line. There are often multiple choices and you can go really fast. And if you have a look at the pro, they often ride tech trails. So yeah, that's the tech trails. Okay, so there is a mixed category where we have both. We have tech like here, but you can ride it in a flowy way. So you need to find your flow in this tech, and you can see some stuff is a bit technical and wants to take the flow away, but some stuff is also very flowy. There are good corners, so we have this mixed category here. And of course every trail exists in different difficulties, so we can have a super technical tech trail, yeah, very difficult, and we can also have a super technical and difficult flow trail, which is a bit confusing. But on flow trails, the difficulty comes mostly with the jumps. Yeah, the bigger the gaps get, the more difficult the flow trail is. And I think the mistake that many people do is they think that flow trails are easy and tech trails are difficult, and that's just not the truth. Like, yeah, both can be difficult, both can be easy. And for sure, there's one more thing. Flow is everywhere. So it doesn't matter if you're riding a flow trail or a tech trail, you will always be able to find flow. It's just a matter of skill. If you have the ability to ride the tech flowy enough to make it a flow trail. I know, but exactly. Now we're gonna come to my conclusions, and I must say for myself, I prefer the tech trails, just because flow trails tend to be easier, even though they don't have to, but they tend to be a bit easier. Yeah, and I prefer the real hard tech. But I'm not saying that I don't like flow trails at all. I just think that tech trails are a bit more interesting in the way they are built. But this trail here is, as I already said, a mix of both worlds, tech and flow. So I really enjoy riding those as well. I just think that flow trails are difficult to be built in an interesting way, because tech trails, as long as it's really blocked and difficult to get through, it stays interesting. And flow trails are really difficult to build, because if you have big gap jumps, it's always like, if you build them too small, certain people are gonna find it boring, and if you build them too big, people are just gonna avoid them and think they're too difficult. But again, you can't go wrong with both of these. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned some stuff. There are gonna be more videos like this. As I said, it's the Trail Talk series. And yeah, expect them to pop up every here and then. And so we will see us in the next one.